Hello, and welcome to Your Money 2.0. I'm Thomas Fox, Community Outreach Director of Cambridge Credit Counseling. The process of simplifying your financial life can go by many names. Some people call it frugal living, being a cheapskate, or a penny pincher. Not very flattering. However, a more accurate description would be living within your means. Living within your means doesn't imply that you're cheap, frugal, or any of the other buzzwords floating around. It simply means you respect your earnings and want your dollars to work as hard as they can for you. Since the beginning of our economic downturn, millions of Americans have lost their jobs. Unfortunately, many of these individuals were unprepared for the situation, so they not only had to deal with the stress of finding a new job, but also with trying to manage car payments, mortgage or rent payments, credit card debt, and excessive expenses, all with little to no savings. As a result, many were forced into a frugal lifestyle out of necessity. However, adopting such a mentality before a financial crisis can have a significant impact on your ability to weather whatever storm that comes your way. For instance, the logic of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, may have more relevance today than ever before. I can remember several years ago when I paid off my automobile. The first question my friends asked was, "What are you going to get next?" My answer? Nothing. My car was in good shape and there was no need to go shopping for a new one. The same can be said for many items in your household. While we all want new and shiny things, we have to remember that it's rarely a good idea to part with our earnings in an effort to keep up with the Joneses. By eliminating unnecessary or higher than needed expenses, you gain the upper hand in your financial situation. You do so by maximizing earnings and placing more of your discretionary income into savings. It's actually a very simple process. However, some of the choices you have to make can prove daunting. Let's take a moment to look at an example, something I call my Simplicity Action Plan. From time to time, I write all of my expenses on a sheet of paper and try to think of real ways to reduce them. In some cases, I discover that I can eliminate an expense altogether, but there are several I just can't budge. They're essential. Many of my essentials are service and utility accounts, so a while back I took a simple step of contacting each of my service providers to ask whether there was any way they could help me to make my bill more affordable. After all, it never hurts to ask. That's how I found out about my gas company's budget plan, which averaged my consumption from the previous year and now allows me to pay the same amount every month, winter and summer. That simple move brought stability and predictability to my budget and eliminated the winter utility bill spikes that make living in the Northeast difficult for so many people. This was fairly easy, but when you get to big ticket items, the process becomes more challenging. As I mentioned, some of the changes needed to simplify your financial life can be daunting. Some years ago, I decided to make one of those changes, and although it worked out for the best, it was unnerving at the time. When I made my Simplicity Action Plan, I researched the rent I was paying compared to similar apartments in surrounding communities. I found that I was paying almost 50% more where I was living. Even worse, I discovered that my car insurance was several $100s higher because of the neighborhood. Although I didn't want to move, I couldn't ignore the savings I experienced by doing so. In the end, I found a new, less expensive apartment, packed my belongings, rented a truck, and moved on to savings. My point is that when you're trying to simplify your financial life, the best course of action you can take is to focus on each one of your expenses and try to reduce it, no matter how difficult the process may seem. By eliminating unnecessary or excessive expenses, you'll eventually find a way to live within your means and build substantial savings to deal with whatever life throws at you. Well, that's it for this edition. We welcome your feedback and ask for your thoughts and suggestions by emailing us at yourmoney2@cambridgecredit.org. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm Thomas Fox for Cambridge Credit Counseling.